Remembrance Day coverage here at the Weather Network. Matt DiNicolantonio joining us also from Halifax is Nathan Coleman. I'm Chris Murphy. So we're going to start with you, Nathan Coleman. You are in a familiar spot. You are down where you are, Grand Parade in Halifax, every single year at this time of year, but things are a lot different from the weather to, of course, the COVID restrictions. So what's it feeling like, and what do you expect today?
Well, yes, Chris, it's feeling very mild. Like you've mentioned, I've been down here most every year, and sometimes I need, a thick pair of gloves to grip that camera. The people come out even if there's snow falling this early in November. This is usually packed here on the Grand Parade, but this year there will be a ceremony, but it's closed to the public. So officials urging everyone to stay home. There have been some organizations coming up and laying wreaths here just behind me, as you can see. So there will be a ceremony, but if you check with your local Legion, there may be some virtual ceremonies, but they are advising people to make that remembrance at home. And it's too bad because, as you mentioned, this year, so mild. Yesterday we were setting temperature records. We might do the same today. So I'm sure it would have been massive crowds, but of course, safety is first.
Yes, of course, Nate. We want to show this video from Dartmouth, this amazing display of poppies. What can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Well, yes, Matt, people are finding ways to honor the veterans in different ways, especially the Oakwood Terrace nursing home. They knitted all of these poppies. There's 2,000 of them, and they had them at the nursing home. They decided to put them on display there in Sullivan's Pond, and people have been coming up, taking pictures with them. It's quite remarkable to see, that bright red and to see all the different variations. So that's one way people are celebrating a little bit differently this year. I know all of the veterans hospitals in Halifax, like Camp Hill, they're usually flooded with visitors today, but they're closed to the public today.
Well, we know that the ceremonies will be different, but the one thing that will never change is our gratitude to those who made the ultimate sacrifice and that continue to serve. So we're going to give you here the 11 a.m. forecast local time. Now, we do realize you're being urged not to go down to your local cenotaph, I'm sure, but we still want to give you the forecast. So, Matt, we still see that big disparity between east and west.
Yes, Chris. So across the prairie, still well below seasonal, below freezing. Edmonton -13, Regina -10, and some snowfall continuing across the prairies today.
And contrast that with the Arctic air that will also follow in behind the snow, but you'll be back to seasonal before the week's over. Temperatures cooling down in Ontario and across the East Coast, where Nathan Coleman is. Another record warm date for November. Your local forecast coming up.
During World War I, the soldiers faced difficult weather conditions. A cold wave hit northern France during the winter of 1917. Between January 20th and February 9th, the temperature did not exceed the freezing mark, day or night. It dropped as low as -23 degrees on the morning of February 4th, and most soldiers suffered painful numbness in their fingers. The following year, the weather was just as cold. Between December 2nd, 1917 and January 14th, 1918, the temperature plunged to -20 degrees at night. To keep warm, the men cut down nearby trees and made fires with the stumps of conifers. The air in the trenches quickly became unbearable from the smoke, but the soldiers huddled near the fires anyway. The following day, with faces blackened by smoke, they resumed fighting.
Taking a look at our temperatures across the country this afternoon, still a big divide between eastern and western Canada. Above seasonal in the east, below seasonal in the west. Minus 13 degrees in Edmonton. Our snowfall that has been across Alberta and Saskatchewan over the last few days moves eastward into southern Manitoba as well. Just light snow, however, and Arctic air in behind as well. We're expecting about 5 centimeters of snow for the areas that will see the most amount of snowfall over the course of Wednesday and into Thursday. Above seasonal in Ontario for today, but cooler temperatures are on the way. A gradual cool down, and it's just going down to seasonal over the course of the next few days as we approach the weekend. Rainfall beginning through the overnight hours in Atlantic Canada. More of a Thursday story, and our front stalling offshore is going to bring about 5 millimeters of rain. Now to our force of nature.
State of emergency declared as flooding hits New Zealand. Dramatic footage from the Greek island of Crete on November 10th shows devastation from floods caused by heavy rain. Video showed cars being swept away as streets turned into rivers. Local reports said emergency vehicle services had received more than 100 calls for assistance. Staying in Greece, this video from a local resident shows floodwater pouring down onto a highway in Malia. The Directorate of Technical Works at the region of Crete on Tuesday warned residents to limit their movements after heavy rain caused flooding and road blockages. And to New Zealand, a state of emergency declared after heavy rain caused flooding in Napier. On November 9th, the local airport recorded 119 millimeters of rain on Monday, twice the monthly average of November.
We always thought we'd